It's the Sean Widmer Podcast. It's a journal by someone that just really doesn't like to write.
I faced my fears today. Let's talk about that today. Let's talk about it, Rhett and Link. Let's talk about that today. I've got to adjust this camera because it's bothering me. Whatever. If you watch on YouTube, thanks for going over there, youtube.com/Bomarooski. I know the vast majority of people really still listen on Apple Podcasts. That's like number one. Spotify's made a good push. YouTube Music, weirdly, a decent amount of listeners on YouTube Music, and then very few on YouTube, but I appreciate those of you who are out there supporting it. youtube.com/Bomarooski means a lot for the people who go out there and hit the subscribe button, leave comments and all that, because I like YouTube a lot, man. Anyways, I've got to talk about facing fears. I think I've got to talk crap about my buddy Marcus at the end. We'll see if we get to that. But today, let's see, I got one of the Band-Aids to prove it on these gigantic arms I've got. So, my brother-in-law, hang on, I got to grab something. I'm not even going to edit this. This is real. I'm going to run with this. Let's see how long it takes. Wait, maybe I brought it in. Hang on. I don't think I did. I got to grab this box. Hang on. I'm not going to edit this. You're going to hear dead air. If you're watching on YouTube or Spotify, you'll see me. You can time me. Here we go. I got it, baby. Whoa, baby. Okay, I got it. This box right here. True Age and True Health. All right, this is from True Diagnostic. This is a company my brother-in-law works for. My brother-in-law, Chris, one of the smartest human beings that I know. He works for a company that I have no idea what it is. I think they're cloning me right now, which is going to be crazy. But this is some kind of thing where I can learn all about, I don't know. Chris's business is like they take your blood and they run it through all these tests. I walked through the lab today. It was insane how awesome it was. It was like just like you walk around a bunch of smart people and realize how dumb you are. That's what I did today. But biological age and aging speed plus nutrition and biological systems health. It gives you a big report on like you. I'm super intrigued in this kind of stuff. I love science. So my brother-in-law had sent out a message. They needed people to come because they're doing some research on getting the samples of blood for their business. And I'm super interested in getting the report back. And I'm sure it's it's not cheap to get this any other way. So if they're going to do it for free, I was like, heck yeah, I'll come in there. So I think one of the things they were working on, at least this is my assumption, they're probably taking my blood again to clone it because they're looking to make a super team of basketball players. So I get that. I understand why he asked me. Duh. But they were like, we're going to prick your finger and get blood that way. We're going to take blood out of your arm the old-fashioned way. And then they've got a device that they stick on your arm that you just sit there. And over the course of it took a little longer, but it draws your blood for you. And I think that would be a variety. They're like, if this works, we could send it home in a package and you could administer this yourself if this device works. Okay. So it was very cool. And I was like super pumped about going and helping Chris out. Anytime one of my buddies is looking for help with a job, I'm in. Plus, Chris said, now I haven't got this yet, so I might need to get a hold of him. He said it was also going to include $50. Like you get this done and you get $50. I'd do about anything for $50. Let's be real. I would do anything for $50. So there you go. There you have it. That's my price. I'd do anything for $50. What do you need done? I got you. $50. I will truly do anything for a $50 bill. I'm very much a believer it's the best bill. You $2 bill fans, I get it. You got a cool bill, but it's not as cool as a 50. You see way more twos than you see 50s. At least I do. Because I roll in the low money world. Anyhow, so I'm excited about this. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get this. I'm going to see this. We're going to get the reports back. My wife is then going to make it when she sees my results. I'm no longer going to be able to stay up late. I'm going to have to eat only salad. I'm going to have to exercise 50 times a day. Like this truly is just going to ruin my life, but I'm excited about it. My wife's going to see it and just change my entire existence. Everything, all sugars are going to be thrown out of my house. I'm never going to be able to have a beer again. But whatever. This is what we're going to do. I'm excited about it. I love science. So I knew it was a blood draw. And if you know my history, I do not do well with hospitals, with needles, with blood. I do not. I've passed out numerous times giving blood. I have passed out walking into a hospital, period. I've passed out in the lobby of Sacred Heart in Spokane and woke up in a bed because I'd passed out just walking in to see my grandpa who had open heart surgery. But anytime I get blood drawn, I pass out. Now, it's been a while since I've had a blood draw, and normally I feel a lot of anxiety leading up to it. I didn't feel anxious about this. And so I was excited because I'm realizing I'm 44 years old. I'm in control of my own body. I'm a man, dang it. And so I'm finally getting to the point where I'm a grown up, and I know I can go get my blood drawn. I can get this test done, and I'm excited about it. So it was great. I go in, and I'm fully expecting to be panicking when I walk into this room where blood is going to be drawn. Now, it worked out where Chris lined it up so it was like the family members who signed up kind of went bang, bang, bang. So he went, then my wife went, then I went. And it's only a 15-minute window because they're just going to draw your blood and get you out of there, which is great. So I walked in. I got there even before my wife got there. And Chris was doing his. He got his done, so I'm talking to him. Anna came in. I'm feeling good because I just saw Chris get his blood drawn and nothing's going on. So, again, face your fears, champion. Who's the man? Me. So Anna goes. I'm talking to Chris. He's kind of telling me about this business. It's super cool. It's just really smart people doing really smart things. He's like, how are your jobs going? I was like, well, I talked about someone who pooped their pants on the radio the other day. So what about that, bud? What do you got? Anything on that? So that was kind of fun. And he's like, yeah, well, here's chemical equations. So Anna gets hers done. It takes like 6 minutes. She's in and out of there. Then she was off to Nashville for work. And so, yeah, it was just like, I'm feeling good. So I sit down and I'm sitting down and I'm like, okay, I'm going to start panicking. Look, let me brag about myself for a second, for crying out loud. I'm going to start panicking. And I didn't. And I'm like, this is what it feels like to give blood like a normal human. So the gal sits me down. She ties now I didn't like this. She ties the heroin band, or sorry, that's probably not the phrase. She ties the band. That's just what you see on TV. She ties that band around your arm. Tourniquet. Is that what it is? Tourniquet? Anyway, she ties that band around your arm, around my arm. And that part did give me a little bit of like, ooh, I don't like this. I do not like this. But I was like, I've faced my fears. So that part did bother me, but then they're going to draw blood. So she's got to get 4 vials of blood and she pokes the needle in and I'm like, there we go. Take this. Cause I had been given crap by my entire family. They were like in our family text thread with my in-laws. My wife is like, this is not a good idea for Sean. Other people are like, this is a bad idea. You shouldn't do this. You're bad at giving blood. Like what happens if you pass out? And so I'm so excited because now I go in, they put the needle in, and I'm sitting there, yeah, baby. And then about 20 seconds later, I look up and I go, ooh, boy. And I don't say anything. I'm just like, whew, okay. All right, you're good. You're good. And I start to breathe a little bit heavier. Okay, I'm fine. One vial down. 3 to go. Feeling okay. Well, we get to vial 2, and vial 2 gets done, and it's like the end of a Looney Tunes commercial or end of a Looney Tunes episode where the edges of the TV, it gets black into a circle in the middle of the screen and Porky Pig's head pops out and says, "Adiba, diba, diba, diba." So I can see the edges of the TV start to go black, but I'm like, I'm not going to lose this fight. Doggone it. And I take a deep breath. I'm kind of getting myself back. And finally I look at Chris and I go, he's sitting at a chair across from me at this table. And I go, dude, I'm going to pass out. And everyone I now realize is staring at me. And they all realized this well before I did. I think I thought I was putting up a good fight. I was white as a ghost, but that wasn't the worst part. I was sweating so hard that as soon as I realized it, there weren't beads of sweat on my brow. I was pouring sweat down the sides of my face like that Key and Peele sketch. I forget which one it is, where it looks like they've just got the faucet on their head, pouring sweat down my face. Chris comes up behind me and goes, "Hey, dude," makes a Dungeons and Dragons joke because he's a D&D guy. He goes, "I'm going to lay on hands, healing spell." And he puts his hands on my chest from behind and like just to like try to calm me down. And he starts laughing. And I go, "How wet are your hands?" He goes, "Your shirt is soaked. It's soaked like you took a shower." I look down. I have sweat through my jeans. I have sweat through my shirt. It looks like I ran or I'd been playing basketball because I had that thing where it goes from right where my shoulders are, a U shape down my belly to my belly button, and the whole front of my black shirt was just drenched. Okay. I am hanging on for dear life. And I look at the gal and I go, "Are we almost done?" She goes, "We're halfway." And I think there's no way. So I'm sitting there, I'm in and out. Now there's like 3 other people come into this room and they're kind of looking at me and I think they're all thinking the same thing. Let's try to distract him. And I'm trying to talk. It was so bad, me fighting for my life. I couldn't formulate words. It was like I had a lisp. I was like, I couldn't really say much. I couldn't, it was weird. Like I was from Austria. I couldn't say much. It was a weird feeling. And like, I couldn't fight it. So they run over, they get me water bottles. Shout out, Fiji water. I've always ripped Fiji water because I just thought it was the original super overly expensive water. It saved my life today. I got 2 Fiji bottles and I drank them like it was St. Patrick's Day and I was out at the Monterey. I was just slamming these waters because I love slamming waters. I was just slamming these waters like they were Irish car bombs. And so I am now well hydrated for the first time and I'm just hanging on. I'm hanging on. And so finally I get done with this blood draw. And the gal's like, "We still have to prick your finger and get that blood. Can we do it right now?" And I'm like, "Look at me. No." So she's like, "Okay, hang on." She goes and gets this little Band-Aid. She tries to stick it on my arm where they took this shot and she laughs. And I'm like, everyone's laughing a lot. They couldn't get any Band-Aids to stick to my arm because I was so sweaty. I was so sweaty. She's like, "Yeah, I can't get anything to stick to your skin right now. I'm going to try to dry it off." So she tried to dry it off. I sweat so hard, so fast. It just immediately wet there again. She's like, "I think I'm just going to hold something there to stop the bleeding and then we'll move on to your finger." So this was hardly embarrassing at all. And it was so bad that I started. So Anna's blood draw took 6 minutes. You got 15 minutes allotted to yourself. I sat down in the chair at 9:55. I left the building at 10:40. It took Anna 6 minutes. It took Chris probably less because he's a professional bodybuilder whose veins pop out across the room. They probably had to, they probably were struggling to get the bleeding to stop. It was insane. So I tried to face my fears and I'm still just a chicken. And the thing I learned today is I'm never going to grow out of whatever it goes on in my body when blood is being drawn. I'm never going to get over it. The weird part with this one was it lingered because of, I think the best thing for me to do is to just pass out. If I just pass out, then I wake up on a couch somewhere and that's it. Or I wake up on the other side in the afterlife. But when you fight as hard as I fought to stay conscious, I think it like screws my brain up for the rest of the day because I was groggy. It's 10:30 and I can still kind of feel it. I was just groggy and had like a mild headache for the entire rest of the day. So there it is. Well, there's your story today. That was my day. And now I'm going to learn about my body. And one of the things they're going to get back is sweat glands working. Very good sweat glands. But I will say to my guy, Chris, there was an awesome building. I'm excited to be part of this. I wish it was easier for me to give blood. I would do it again. Even with the dramatic moments that happened and the pure embarrassment in front of this nurse and my brother-in-law and the guys that he works with who own the company, just sheer embarrassment. I would do it again because I love this kind of science. And so I'm pumped to do this. Inside of this, I believe there is another needle where I'm supposed to draw blood tomorrow. Yeah, freaking right, dude. Yeah, freaking right. My best bet is to go crash on my skateboard and skin my hands and just start dabbing my hands on the little thing in here you're supposed to get the blood collected in. Because that's really going to be the only way that happens for me. Where's my $50, Chris? Huh? Again, I wanted to give this before we sign off today. Hang on just a second. What is this? Hang on. OMG. Sean Farnham. No freaking way. So, okay, I can't. Sean Farnham made a post because Dave Fleming, who was his play-by-play guy for Sean Farnham, who I don't like, who works for ESPN, they did a lot of Gonzaga games. Dave Fleming is moving to NBC from ESPN. This is a lot of nonsense, but I just got the text from Darnay. My boy B, Barrett Henderson, got in a picture on the official Sean Farnham post about Dave Fleming moving to a different network and their time together being done. I gotta say, wow, this is, and then I gotta do an ice cream emoji. I gotta do an ice cream emoji for my guys. Why can't I get the ice cream emoji to pop up? Come on, there we go. Okay. Marcus, why did you tell me to download this stupid Yahtzee game? Why did you tell me to download Yahtzee with friends or whatever it is? Yahtzee with buddies. Why? I have to delete it. I think I stayed up till 2 a.m. playing. So that needs to be gone. Thanks for listening. 9 in a row.